Hey guys, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to see how to download a file and test in Selenium. So it means in our Codenbox Automation Lab practice page, if you go all the way down, you will find here, there's a download file to test. Here is it in a download file to test. So if you click on there, there will be APK file will download. So that's what we're going to do a test. We'll click on there, we'll download the file, and then we'll ensure the file was downloaded or not. So to do this, here is our step. So we have to set our Chrome options to enable download prompts and specify download directory. Because it's sometimes, when you download something, sometimes your Windows machine or your browser, it's give you some sort of the pop-up window and it asks your permission, right? So we have to ensure that if there is any permission related things comes up, we can disable those permission, like we can ignore those things. So to do this, we have to use our Chrome options class so that we can set a some sort of behavior, specific behavior to our Chrome browser. And also we're going to use HashMap. HashMap will explain when we're going to work with the HashMap or create an object of the HashMap. So apart from there, we have to also check for and delete any older downloaded file. So first time there will be no older file, but when you download the file, if you execute the same script again, that time you should have your previous or old file. So you need to check every time whether it's the old file or exist or not. If there is an old file exist, you need to delete that one so that you don't have any old file. So that's one of the things we'll do at the very end. We'll see. But to download the file, it's very simple. We'll locate and download the file. We'll apply the click method to download the file, and then we'll ensure whether the file is downloaded or not. Okay, let's go to our Eclipse. So just I'll let you know, this class, this lecture is going to be a little bit longer, and because it's a little complex, it's not that much. Okay. Anyways, let's start. So first thing first, we said that we're going to, set Chrome option. Before we declare our Chrome browser, so we're going to declare Chrome options. Create an object of Chrome class, Chrome options class, new Chrome options. New Chrome options class. I'm creating object of Chrome option class so that I can set some specific Chrome option for the Chrome browser. Okay, so options, that's a return object reference, and so return type would be same class name. Hover your mouse and import the package. Okay, and after that I said we have to enable download prompt. So if we click, if there is any download pop-up option comes up when you're going to download, we need to make sure that we can ignore or we can disable that pop-up options. To do this, and also we need to set something else also. So to do this, we're going to use HashMap. So let's create an object of HashMap. HashMap. So object of HashMap, creating object of HashMap. I will explain very high level what is HashMap. Let's put in variable HashMap, and then the return type would be HashMap, but we have to declare what would be the data type string. I will explain you, and then object. Hover the mouse and import. You can see HashMap is a part of Java util. Okay, so let me explain you what is HashMap. Let's get back to our document. So HashMap in a Java, it's a class. HashMap is a class that implements map interface. So in Java util, there is a interface is called map. It means all the method inside the map, it's without a body. So this map needs to implement through a class. It's called HashMap class, which represent a collection of key value pairs. This is very important. So HashMap represent the parameter inside the HashMap. It's represent key value pairs where each key is unique. It is part of the Java collection framework, as I said, and it's used to store element as a key value pairs. So it's a store multiple elements like an array, but it's stored as a format which is a key value format. So it will have a key for each and every element. It will have a two part. One is key, another part would be value. So key would be one data type, and your value could be another data type. And but keys can be unique. It cannot be duplicate. You can see the key must be unique. Duplicate keys are not allowed. A HashMap allows null as a key or as a value. So your key value could be both or null. And the order of elements in HashMap is not guaranteed. So like first come first out is not like that way. HashMap doesn't work that way. Here can example, the HashMap to store students score. You can see here is I created hash. Here is a created HashMap, created object of HashMap, and this is the return type, object reference, student scores, and then here is the key and value, data type of the key value, like it's a string, like it's a key, and like it's a student name, and the value would be the score. For each and every student name, there will be some score. So score data type is integer, and this is the key is a string. You can see how to input, how to add the element. To add the element, you are going to use the object reference of HashMap, like student scores dot put method. It has a lot of method like put method, delete method, that kind of. So put method will help you to add any element to your HashMap. Like the first is this is the key is name, the David, so it's string type, and the value, which is the score, is integer type 95. The next one is Bob and 87, Joy 92. And if you want to retrieve the value from HashMap, you can use again the object reference. This is the student scores dot get, and then you pass any specific, if you pass just any specific key, it will return you the value for that specific key. So it will return you that that value. So that's the way you can create an HashMap or use an HashMap. So hopefully it's give you a very high level, because this is not the class that to cover HashMap. It is the part of the Java, so it have to go through our Java class. Anyways, let's get back to our now over here. So you understand that HashMap will, that's why I said it will collect you as a key value pair. So this is the key. So our first data type of the key is string, and second data type, we're going to store different type. Our key would be value would be the different. For the different element, the value would be different. It could be a string, it could be integer. That's why I put the object. Okay. And then it's a HashMap. So and this is the object reference. So I'm going to use HM. Now inside a HM, I can just as I said, I can put the element. So what would be the first element? The element would be you can say first one would be the key is a string, and the value would be object, anything could be. So let's put a key. So what I'm saying, I'm going to say profile for browser profile, the Chrome profile. Every browser is a profile, so we're going to say profile dot default underscore content settings, content underscore settings. I will explain you. settings dot popups. Okay, and the value would be 0. So what does it mean? So I'm saying that in this hash map I want to add an element, and the element key would be this as a string, like profile default content settings pop-ups. It means in the browser, whatever the browser we're going to use. So we're going to use a Chrome. So for the Chrome browser, there's a specific element we're adding, the profile default content settings pop-ups. So when when we download any file, if there is a pop-ups opens, we want to set that value would be for that pop-up is 0. So if you say the value is 0, it means it will ignore it. It will not count that element. Okay, that pop-up will not count. That's one element we put in HashMap. Okay, and then another element we're going to put, we'll say hm dot put, and we're going to say download dot default dash directory. Okay, and then the path would be it's a path of the directory. Path of the directory. So what does it mean? It means, let's go to again over here. So when you download, let's click on the download. Let's see what happened. When you click on download, this file will be download. You can see over here, this is the download file, and it will be download in our over here, right? Is in the resources. So if you go, you can see it's downloaded in our default location, which is our download files, right? So download over here, and this is the files. This is a zip file. So it's by default, or default location is our download folder. That's our default location. But what if we want to download that file to our project root directory over here? Okay, in our project, this is our project, my basic test. So this is our project. So I want to download that file. Instead of the default location, I want to download my directory. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying, like a download default directory should be part of the directory, our own path of the directory. So what would be the path of the directory? I have to provide the path. So let's declare over here system dot get property, get property. You can see property, get property string key, and then let's declare our path. So our path, I said to go to a place on our root in our project level. It's user dot directory, right? dir user dot directory. So this is the I'm declaring our system dot get property, our root directory path, and let's put this one. Let's put this one in a variable. I will say d file, the download file, or you can say d file path, and it should be string. Okay, so now you can see now this is the d file path. It has the knowledge about our root directory path of our project, right? So this is the path. So I'm going to paste that over here, the d file over here, d file path. Okay, now you can see the d file is a string, and also our download default directory also is string. That's why, and another element we had a string and integer, right? That's why I put our value as an object, so that we can use any type of value, whether it's integer, whether it's a string, whatever we want. But our key is always it's a string. That's why I use the key. It's a string type. Hope it's very clear. Okay, now let's use now. Let's use, so now we have to, this hash map, we created a hash map and it has this two element, right? And now this two element, it should be integrated to our Chrome option. It should be applied to our Chrome option, right? So that is a Chrome have the knowledge about this element, about this element, pop-up element, as well as the root directory path of our project, right? How we can integrate, apply this, HashMap element to Chrome option. To do this, we have a method in Chrome options. So use the object reference of Chrome options dot set, you can say set experimental option, so that we can set this HashMap option to our Chrome option, right? Experimental option, and then we can, the first element would be preference, set experimental option. So we are going to set experimental option in Chrome, in a Chrome option. What's the first parameter is the preference, prefs, preference. So we're saying that set experimental option. So the two parameter we have to pass, one is preference, should be as it is, this is the fixed parameter, it's a preference. What's our preference? Preference is HM, so the object reference of HashMap. So because HM, this is the object reference of HashMap, and in this HashMap, I entered two element, put two element. This is the one element and this is the another element. So these two elements is now it's inside our HashMap, and this both elements have, HM, this object reference has the knowledge about these two element. So if I pass the HM over here, this HM would be the preference for our Chrome options, right? And after that, we'll initialize. Next things we're going to initialize. It's a very common things. Initialize our driver. Let's initialize our driver, right? We know this new Chrome driver, and then web driver. So now this Chrome driver, this is the regular behavior for our Chrome driver that will invoke our Chrome browser. So in this Chrome browser regular behavior, if we want to apply this Chrome options, we have to pass this Chrome over here, right? We have to pass this Chrome over here, okay, so that our driver have the knowledge about this Chrome options, or behavior. However, mouse, why is not new Chrome driver? Okay, save it. It's not, let me Control Shift O. Okay, yeah, if any reason you see this your the package, related package is not coming, you can just whether you can manually type your import related package, or you can hit hold Control Shift O on your keyboard, it will adjust. Okay, and after that, is there anything missing? Save it. Let's see. Okay, and after that, we're going to I said we need to check if there are any existing or old files in our project, and then we should delete. I will do it later. So for the first time, we don't have to check. First time we're going to download a fresh file. Okay, let's see what would be the, so we'll say driver dot get, what would be our this is our URL, right? Okay, so this is our URL, so it will load our application, and then we'll say next is that we're going to locate and download the file, right? We're going to locate and download the file. That's just very simple. This is the element inspected, so we can see there is a text file, download APK file. So let's use a link text driver dot find element by dot link text. Okay, and what's the text? This is the text, and then we'll apply click method to download it. Okay, after the download is done, we're going to let's add and wait to ensure the download completed. Okay, add wait. Okay, to ensure download completed. You can, so I'm going to use thread.sleep, but you can feel free to use explicitly wait. That's you can do. So thread.sleeps, let's use, I would say 3 seconds for now. It depends on how how first you perform your internet as well as your system. For I will try with 3 seconds. Otherwise, if you see this doesn't work or failing, so then I will increase later on. Okay, so after that, so we're going to check the file, it's downloaded or not. So it should be downloaded, right? So we're going to, so it should be downloaded, and downloaded, we already said that where it should be downloaded. This is the directory path, so it should be downloaded in our project level. So we're going to check whether it's the file is downloaded or not, right? So that's what we have to do, a validation. To do this, okay, let's create an object of file class. So we have to know where our file is, to verify whether file is downloaded or not. So we have to confirm that, we have to ensure that we have to use the path of the file, where that file should be up here. Then we'll see is that a file exists up there or not. Okay, to do this, we're going to create an object of file class, and then we're going to pass the, to do this I have to, let's make a comment. Let's driver.quit. So what I'm doing, I'm going to run this first to see this whether it's downloading, it's working or not, up until click. Okay, then I will add the code to check whether file is downloaded or not. So it's going to be easier for us to understand. Let's run it. Okay, invoke the browser. Okay, we can see that it's downloaded. So it should be downloaded. We didn't see any error. So let me, refresh the project. Refresh it. Here we go. You can see there is a APK files one. So there is a one, I think I did before, so it's maybe this is another old, but it's downloaded one new one. Okay, so over here you can see there is a file has been downloaded. Okay, so now if I want, so this is the old one, let me just remove this one. This is the one, the new downloaded file. So the file has been downloaded. So if you want to confirm whether this file is downloaded over here or not, so you can see this is the file. Okay, to check other file is downloaded or not, let's create an object of new file, and then put in a variable. So I would say download file, downloaded file. Let's give a name, downloaded file, the object reference, and so return type would be file. So hover our mouse, input the package related with the file, and then here we have to add the argument, exactly where the file is. Okay, I have to pass the argument in a string value, like where the file is. So our file, where is our file? Our file is over here in this variable. We set to download our file in the user root directory of our for our project level. So this root directory, it's in variable, so we'll put this variable pass over here. And then what's the extension of the file? You have to pass, you have to say exactly the not only the root directory. So this is the root directory of our project, but what is the name of the file? Otherwise it will not able to find that exact file is exist or not. So we have to give your file name too. So this is the last part of apk files.zip. You have to give the file name too. So this should be class, this should be plus and flash. Okay, it should be in a string value. This is the name of the file. Okay, this is the name of the file. So this is the name of the file, and this is the root directory path. Okay, then so now this downloaded file have the knowledge about exactly where the file. Okay, and what is the file name? Now if I use just if downloaded file, this downloaded file, I can just pass some if else condition, downloaded file dot exist. There is a method, it's called exist. It's a return boolean. If it's exist, it means it's belongs there, the file is there. Then we can say just simple, we can just say sysout system.out. We can say file downloaded successfully, right? You can say file downloaded successfully. Okay, else we can say else. If it's not, okay, if it's not, we can say file didn't download. Let's copy the same line and put it over here. File did not download. Did not download. Okay, let's remove this part. File did not download. Okay, then driver.quit. Okay, let's save it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this one, because we have already one file up there. So let's delete it there. That's why we need to, the second time when you are going to run, we have to ensure that if there is old file is there, check this one, then delete, then execute or download a fresh file. Okay, we'll see in after this execution. Okay, click this one, so save it, let's run it. Okay, run it. Java application. Oh, it didn't maximize the window. We'll do it, that's fine. So you can see this file was downloaded, and close, and you can see the console output over here, file downloaded successfully. And also if you just refresh the project, F5, or refresh the project, you can see there's a file is over here. Okay, so this is the way you can download any file. It could be any file, it could be the your Word file, it could be the image, any type of file, and then you can verify whether the file was downloaded or not. Okay, now if you need to run this this code or this test again, one more, because this is, assume that this is the part of your regression, so it means you will run this test again and again before every release. So it means if you run this test a second time, it will download another file. You saw this at the beginning, right? There is a 2 file. It will download another apk file, so there will be multiple files. So but so it means every time it will run, you will have one more file. So this is not a good practice. So what do you want to do? You want to ensure, so for the next execution, before it comes to over here, before it's download over here, comes to over here, like click up here, download before it comes to over here, or even launch the browser, we want to ensure that we have some code so that it can check in our project level is there any file name is apk files? If it's there, delete that file, and then execute the rest of the code as it is. So we have did. Okay, so let's see that how we can do this. So let me, okay, let's see here. So after this, so before we want to check that condition before it's launched our URL, or before it's click up there. So over here, after we declare create a Chrome driver option, so we said we pass the option to our Chrome driver. After that, we can put over here our checking for and for delete any older file. Okay, so that's what this is the we're going to do, check for and delete any older downloaded files. So to do this, we're going to, again, we have to see, is there any file in our project level? So to see or to find or to check any file, we have to use again new file, create an object of the file class, and then we have to say where is the file. So the file should be, this is the root directory path we already declared. Okay, we have to pass the file root directory path. This is the root directory. It means it is the project level, right? This is the project level user directory, the project level. This is the directory path for the file, should be, if there is a file up there, right? Let's put this one in a variable. I would say download. I would say download directory. So this is the download directory. Okay, and then return type would be file. Okay, and after that we can use we can use this download, this object download directory dot, we can use the one, there is a method in the file class. It's called, you can say list. There is a list files, there's a list files. Okay, list files, and its return is a file object. So list files, it means if you have a multiple even list files, it works like an array in a file type, in an element. It help you or enable you to store multiple files like in an array. Okay, that's why we're adding a list file method, so that if there is a multiple file, we can check all the all of the files, whether it's one or more than one. So we're calling the list files method, and let's put this one in a variable. We'll say downloaded probably files. Let's see. Downloaded files. Okay, downloaded files, and the return type, as I said, if you hover again, it will return type would be file. You can say file object. So return type would be file. This is a file object. Okay, so again, the reason why we call this method list file, so we are giving options so that list file allow us to store multiple elements, like a files elements in a file, the class through a file object. Okay, so now this downloaded files have the knowledge about all the files. If you have whether we have a one file or we have a multiple, we don't know. Assume that we don't know how many files we have, like we have to check. So all of the files that is been stored in this project level, this downloaded files object have the knowledge. Now we're going to use this. We're going to say if this downloaded files, we're going to say if this downloaded files, this object not equals to null, not equals to null, it means it's present. Okay, this object has the knowledge about some of the files over here. If not equals to null, it means if there is some files up there, whether one or multiple, then if there is a file presence, then we want to delete that one, right? Otherwise we don't need to do anything. So we're saying that it means if there is a files, if there is a files present, so let's check and delete those. And we'll say then this, since where this downloaded files, it is an object of this files object. So it means we're assuming that this variable might have this object might have a multiple files. So we want to check each and every files, so let's use for each loop. I think that should be the better option. Okay, please put your focus over here. So what we're doing over here, so we're saying I'm calling using a for each loop. So the syntax of for each loop, it's usually for each loops use if you have a multiple elements, whether it's the array or list array or linked list, that's so that it's it can automatically retrieve one by one element and then puts in a variable. So this is the syntax that let's the variables of your array or object of your array, like list array or whatever the array, this is the object. It has all the multiple files and puts in a single variable, declare a single variable. I will say file, and then return type would be, what would be the return type would be based on whatever your array return type. So this list file arrays return type is the file. So we have to, I hope that you already know, we use so many times in our past lectures how the for each loop works. Okay, so here now for each loop, so what this will do is this will so if our downloaded files have a multiple files, so the first files will assign to this file variable, and then it will do exactly in as per our body for the for loop. So in our body, what do you want to say? We want to say I'm going to pass again another if condition, because the reason why, let me tell you, the file, using a file. So now the out of this download files object, out of all the elements, first element will assign to this file variable. So this file variable have the knowledge about the first element. So I will say that if this file dot, you can say there is a get name. If this file dot get name dot, there's a method called start with, you can say start with string prefix. Start with, what's the prefix? The file name, we know this. You can say file name with the, let's what's the prefix? Prefix is apk files. apk files, f, exactly the same name files, just the prefix, so we don't have to put the extension after the .zip, all those things. So I'm adding a prefix because this start with methods just expect the prefix as a string. So I'm saying that out of this downloaded files, in the first file will assign to this file, and then that file I put another if condition inside the for body. So if that file, so I'm going to get the name of that file, dot start with, because our root directory, the file root directory path in our project level. In our project level, we have a lots of file, right? We have a source folder, and inside that there is a lots of file. We have a Maven dependency bin. So what folder or what file exactly we want to delete, we have to ensure by the name. That's what I'm saying. So for using a for each loop, I'm assigning first file from this project, each and every files assigning in this file folder, file variable, and then from the file variable I'm saying whatever the files you have in your project level, get the name for each and every file, and if and start with, and see this, if the name is start with apk files, then I will say delete it. So let's put the body of each if. So I will say file, this file call the method for the file from the file class. It's called delete. There is a method, it's called delete. You can say delete. It will exactly will find these APK files and then it will delete. Okay, you can say, let's put say system.out.println. Let's put a message over here. After is delete, we can say deleted old files. Old file. Okay, deleted old files. Let's give a name. Probably if you want, we can give a name plus deleted old file. Okay, deleted old files. Not sure that it will able to give that file name, so let me still, because it will be deleted by that time, maybe it will not. Let's try the file dot get file name. Okay, so that we can see if there is any old file been deleted or not. Okay, and then it will, if there is an old file there, it will be fine, it will be deleted, and then it will launch our application, and then it will find the locator for the downloaded element, object element. It will click, and then it will do the same thing, like after it's downloaded, it will check whether the file has been downloaded or not, and it will give us the some print statement, file was downloaded successfully or not. Okay, save it. This time we're expecting it give us a deleted old file, this message, because we have already one file is here. Okay, so let's run it, and then it's supposed to also, we're supposed to see a one new file. The name would be the same, but we'll not see in the double duplicate file. Let's run it. Java application. Okay, here we go. Yes, you can see. Let's see. Yes, let's see. So it's giving us a console output. So deleted old files, and the file name was this APK files -1 zip, and then also it's after that it's was able to download a new file, and it's giving me the response as a file download successfully. You see the file download successfully, and you see this there is only APK files, only one. Let's refresh our project. You can see there is only one, because the old one was deleted and this is the new one. Because this way, it doesn't matter how many times you run this test, there will be never duplicate files, and you will not to have to do any manual work to delete your old file. And that this should be the end-to-end part of your end-to-end project. Okay, so that's all. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much. If you have any question, feel free to ask me in the comment. Bye bye.